Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. Happy Lunar New Year. It's the year of the fire horse today, so happy about that. Welcome to another live Q&A session here on my channel. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Angela. I am a full-time voiceover artist and audiobook narrator, and my channel is dedicated to those of you just getting started in this wonderful world of voiceover and audiobook narration. And through my channel, I share with you tips, tricks, techniques, things that I do every day in my own voiceover business. And then we get together in these weekly chats to talk about a topic or two. We'll see how it goes. Today's episode was inspired by some recent questions I got from our very own VO's Journey Academy members that weren't quite aware of everything that we have to offer as an academy, as a voiceover and audiobook production academy. So we're going to talk about that today. So those of you that are members, maybe you'll pick up a few things. If you're not a member yet and are looking for a fantastic opportunity to join a voiceover academy or an audiobook production academy, to be honest, you cannot, I know I say this a lot, you cannot beat the price point for this academy. So, for what we offer anyway. So I don't want to sound too much like a commercial, but I mean, okay, tangent. All right. So today's poll is, where are you in your audiobook journey currently? Because we're going to touch on that and how Academy Voices might help you, or even a VO's Journey Academy. Sorry, distracted. So the poll responses so far are 29% of you said I'm setting up my home studio, and I know that's one of the toughest part. Most of my mentees are in that place right now, that frustrating part. Just know that, just keep at it. It's a temporary part of this process, and it is frustrating to get all the effects. It's a delicate dance of effects to get everything to work together, but just know it's a temporary thing, so you don't get frustrated with that part. Horror stories from my own experience. 17% of you said recording my first projects. That's good. 39% of you said auditioning consistently. That's good too. 17% of you said ready for immersive work. Well, that's fantastic, because we are just scratching the surface of what we can do in Academy Voices. So what we're going to do today is we're going to walk through where to find our academy, and then also Academy Voices, how to navigate the site a little bit, what we have to offer. And if you are a member and have questions, then please post them in the chat. If you have questions about the Academy or Academy Voices, our audiobook production company, post them in the chat. Or if you just want to say hi, that's cool too. I'm always happy to see you guys. So what we're going to do then is really quickly, I'm going to share with you a VO's Journey Academy. So if you go to let me get over there really quick. VOsJourney.com, AVOSJOURNEY.com. It's like a voiceover's journey, a VO's journey. This is the homepage, and as you can see, you get 50% off of your first month right now. So he's running this promotion, which, you can't beat it. So basically, here we go. He's got a little video in there. So here is basically the 3 different tiers of our academy. There's 3 different levels of membership. There used to be just 1 level of membership, but we've expanded with now adding my platinum group into the academy, and then he's added an additional tier being premium. So let's just run through these really quick. So Launchpad, if you've watched my content for any amount of time, you've heard us talk about our platinum group, which is now Launchpad, now that we've joined forces with a VO's Journey Academy, or Anthony Pica. So Launchpad is $37 a month, and what you get with that is, if you heard me talk about Platinum at all, it's basically our Platinum group. You meet weekly with the group, every Thursday night at 8 p.m. EST. We go for about 2 hours. We've been doing some really exciting stuff in our meetings. We try to gamify everything that we do, just so that it's fun, but we still get the work done. We even bring adult beverages. So if everybody is, I don't want to say completely libated, but we have fun. We have a lot of fun. We go through script interpretation. We did mock live direction the other day. We do Wheel of Emotions, Wheel of Genres. We go through e-learning, IVR, meditation, audiobooks, commercial reads. We go through just about anything and everything you can think of, Fiverr gigs, Upwork profiles, website reviews, just about anything. And I'm always open to suggestion. So if there's something that, if you're a member of the group, just send me a message in Discord if there's something that you'd like to explore further. I'm open to it. That's why we do this. And with the Launchpad membership, you get free access to Academy Voices, which is our audiobook production company. And I'll get to that in a minute, but we're looking to rival, if not best, or be better than ACX at some point. With that membership, you also get access to our Discord, which is huge. There's, I think I was looking at it today, there's 71 people online right now. I think there's 200, 300 people in our Discord currently, all voice actors. We have also that gives you access to our vast library of practice scripts. If you're looking for something to make a demo or just to practice with, we have a library that's full of scripts. And the monthly challenges that are in our Discord. The second tier, oops, if I can get my computer to agree, here we go. The second tier is Core. Now, Core includes Launchpad, everything that I just mentioned with Launchpad, plus you get 12 different monthly classes from commercial, tech, video game, characters, corporate narration, acting, marketing, branding. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff. Weekly script workouts. Every Wednesday night, there's a different coach, myself included, that participate in what we call the script workouts, whereas you wanted to get feedback on an audition or a job or something, you can bring that script to the workout and read it for the group. And then get feedback on perhaps maybe to change your approach. It's just some insight from the group. And then, of course, you get access to all the pre-recorded courses that are there. You get, I forgot to mention that every single one of our classes, including Launchpad, they're all recorded. So if you ever miss one, or if you join today, which you can if you want to, there's a link in the description. But if you join today, you have years and years and years of classes, of Launchpad sessions to watch. So you can go back and watch all of those. And then, of course, the last tier of membership is Premium, which is Core and Launchpad, plus you get a monthly one-on-one session, 1-hour session with a coach of your choice. We have 5 coaches, I believe, total, myself included, so you can choose from any one of those coaches. And you also get first dibs on auditions for Academy Voices, free access to all monthly webinars that we hold, and then, of course, priority audio and acting checks. So now, just to talk about the price point, for those of you that are just starting out and have yet to go seek out a coach or any kind of pricing for one-on-one coaching, I think specifically comes to mind because getting a one-on-one coach is going to cost you anywhere from $200 to $500 a month, in my experience. And that usually includes maybe 1 session, maybe 4 sessions, but usually it's 1 session a month. So for a fraction of that, you get a whole community. You get 12 classes a month if we're talking about Core, plus the weekly sessions with me and 50 other voice actors that join every Thursday night. I mean, you cannot beat that price point. You just can't. So here are the instructors. There are 5 of us. So we have Anthony Pica, if you're familiar with Anthony Pica. He was actually my coach, and we've been friends for a long, long time. Gabby Nistico is also another voice actor that I followed on YouTube forever. She and Anthony I followed forever. And now we're coaching together. And then there's Bonnie Marie Williams. We also have, of course, myself, and then also Melissa Harlow. So we have 5 different coaches that you can learn from. You can go through and read about us if you want to. Our academy also has what we call Vojo, which is basically a women's voiceover sorority of sorts that you can join, that they meet every Monday night, I believe. So weekly live classes, archived classes or courses. We have an extremely active and supportive Discord group. As I mentioned before, looking at it now, there's currently 71 members online. So that is great. So you could actually post demos for feedback, things like that, get feedback from the group, ask questions about tech. If you've watched, in the last month on my channel, you've seen Caesar join. Caesar is in our group, and he is very, very active and so helpful with his tech support. Much more than tech support, Caesar. If you're watching, you're much more than tech support. But okay, so live script breakouts. Okay, what am I forgetting? Oh, we also have a rate guide, and I've touched on our rate guide a few times. If you're just starting out, and even if you don't want to join the academy, that's fine. But if you go to aviosjourney.com, we have a rate guide here for you that you can use if you're trying to figure out. Let me get down to the guide here. If you're trying to figure out what to charge in the beginning, he's got this broken down by voiceover type, and then also where you are in your journey. So if you consider yourself to be a beginner, if you're an intermediate, or if you're seasoned, this will give you an idea of what to charge. And he's got a little word count calculator here, which is very helpful. Broadcast licensing, audiobook narration or audiobook production for freelance and pay-to-play sites, phone messages and IVR. We've got everything in here. E-learning, corporate narration, video games, ADR dubbing, meditation, affirmation, and then, of course, how to price out your Fiverr gigs. We've got a little bit of everything in here if you're looking for a rate guide. I want to make sure I have enough time for questions. What about us? Oh, yeah, that's also something I forgot. Avio's Journey also offers voiceover demo services. So working with Anthony, I believe it's Anthony or even Gabby, maybe both, but we can help you create your demos as well here. And then at some point, we're going to be offering website services where we can create a one-page voiceover website for you. We're ultimately trying to be a one-stop shop for voice actors and audiobook narrators, where you don't have to go and find, a bunch of coaches or professionals to help you build your business. We can do it all here in Avio's Journey. You can learn, you can get jobs, you can get your website done, get your demo done, all within the family, right? All right, so let's move on to Academy Voices. So this is our audiobook production company. And again, membership is $9 a month if you're not a member of the Academy. But if you are a member of the Academy, you get membership to this platform for free. So what this is our audiobook production company. Think of ACX, right? We are at the beginning stages. We are growing quickly. But basically, we're focusing on, of course, human-only voices because we are audiobook narrators and voice actors ourselves. So we wanted to create a place where we could find work that, without the fear of scams or people trying to take advantage, things like that. I feel my brain is going, don't forget this, and I'm probably going to forget it anyway. So if you have questions, please ask. We publish to all the major platforms, our audiobooks. I don't want to forget anything, but here's just a few places. But write, publish, narrate, earn. All right, so what you do, I think let's just go to get started. So if we go to get started, or did I click it? No, I probably didn't. Anyway, so if you go to how everything works, let's just start from here because that's where we're at. If you're an author, you would click this button and it'll tell you, or it'll take you right to this section. Need more coffee. So what we do is we work with you to get a narrator selected. We have over, I think, somewhere between 200 and 300 different narrators that we can choose from. You can decide on your payment terms, where you want to publish, which is probably all of the platforms. And then we can also help you to track your earnings and your sales. We can help boost your visibility in the audiobook distribution on the audiobook distribution platforms with marketing. We could pretty much do it all. Now, if you are a narrator, you would start with get started, right? You would build your profile, submit your headshot, your demo, and then you'd get featured on our roster. And then you could always go into the portal, which I'll show you in a second, where you can audition for books that are actively open for audition. My brain is telling me, don't forget this, and I'm probably going to forget it anyway. So really quickly, let me log in. I want you guys to see my credentials. So let's log into my portal. And then, all right, now we can go back to Academy Voices. Okay, so once you log in, this is what you're going to see. You first fill out your payment information here as far as your PayPal credentials, or where to send your funds to for PayPal. Royalty share per finished hour. We do it all. Here's where you would submit your demo and your pics, your headshots. And then you would go to the job posting board. Now, here are all of the jobs that are currently available for narrators, and there are quite a few. Now, we do a lot of classics, but we're also starting to get retail projects in from authors as well. But we have quite a few books that are open right now for audition. So if you are in a VO's Journey Academy, you already have free membership to Academy Voices. So as you can see, there are quite a few available for you now to audition for. So go in there and start auditioning and make some money, right? Quite a few. I feel like I'm forgetting a lot. So if you have questions, please ask. I hope that answers some questions for you. If you are a member, let's go over to the comments because I feel like I'm forgetting quite a bit. I'm probably not, but. And then if you have questions about the poll or anything pertaining to your audiobook journey or Academy Voices or a VO's Journey Academy, then please ask. That's why we do these, to kind of answer those questions for you. The first in today was Caesar. Hey, Caesar. You know my answer to the poll, ready for immersive work. Yes, Caesar we've had on a few times. I had him and Rebecca on last week, showcasing a snippet of their new series for Academy Voices, AV on History, which was the Amelia Earhart series episode, which was amazing. Caesar does some amazing work with sound effects and music and direction, and Rebecca is an amazing actress as well. Caesar says, that said, hello, everyone. I have produced. Yes, we know, Caesar. Kat says, good morning, Angela and all. Will you be adding the Vojo time to your calendar on Launchpad? It's only one Monday a month, right? I don't know if it's not included with Launchpad as far as I know. I guess maybe I'll have to clarify that. I have participated in one session, and that's bad job me, because that's usually, I think, but the time they're meeting is when I'm usually at the gym, or I'll have to look into that, but that's good. Yeah. I assume that you're in Vojo, Kat? Is it Oha Sensei? Sensei? Oh, Oha Sensei? Do you have a video of your own audio booth setup? I know I did a walkthrough a few years ago after I had updated everything in here, but it's probably time for a refresh. So I don't have a current one, but it probably wouldn't hurt to do a new one. So, but I do have one. It's a few years old, but it's all the same stuff, basically. Ken says Caesar is all ready for immersive stuff. Yeah, he was born ready. You know what? Just to go back to Oha Sensei, is there a particular question that you had about something specific about your setup? Maybe we can answer for you right now. Natalie's narrations. Good morning. Good morning. Ken says, greetings all from frigid and snowy Edmonton, AB. We didn't, I mean, not to rub it in or anything, but as you guys know, I live in the desert. I live in Arizona. We didn't see much of a winter at all this year. It's like 56 degrees right now, but didn't get much of a winter here at all. Mary Lynn, hello, Mary Lynn, good morning. Good. Pamela is here, good morning. It would seem we are late to the snow game. Had some last night, but it won't last the day. Looks like a lot of you are getting snow. Renata's here, good afternoon. Ken says to Pam, you can have some of mine. Chastity is here. Hey, Chastity. I'm excited for Chastity. She's really talented. She's really talented. So is Renata. We heard Renata narrate for us the other night in Launchpad, and oh my gosh, we've got some blooming talent. We've got some rising stars already, some natural talent in our group. I'm excited for both of you. Yeah. So glad you joined, Renata. Pam says, so happy to say booth number 4 has been officially set up and sanctioned by Caesar. If you've got his blessing, right? He is wonderful to work with as a professional and a friend. Thanks again. Caesar says, always a pleasure to work with you, Pam. It also helps that we have similar alignments. Sean. Good morning, Sean. Quick plug from a member of a VO's journey. My day job means I'm rarely able to join live training, so I watch the replay. For me, this has still been a huge help that I consider invaluable. And I think that's one of the major things I think that sets our academy apart from other places. If there are multiple sessions with whatever you choose during the month, you either are paying $300 to $500 a month for it, or you get one coach instead of 5, or you just have the one session and it's not recorded. You can't go back and reference it, or you can, but that video is only available for a week or something like that. Our academy is the only place where you can get all of these things. I mean, I know. You're like, shut up, Angela. I know. But I mean, if I'm giving credit where credit is due. I mean, you really can't beat what we offer for the price point. You really can't. I appreciate that, Sean. Natalie's narration says, I've been in Angela's Platinum Launchpad group for a little over a year, and it has been a game changer. Highly recommend. Great for getting into a peer and mentorship group for feedback and support. Mm-hmm. We really do have something special in Launchpad, for sure. I mean, and if you're wondering about your experience level as something that would prohibit you from joining. You don't have to have any kind of, even if you're at the stage where you're thinking about getting into the voiceover world or audiobook production world and you have zero equipment, you can still join. When you join, let's just say Launchpad. If you join Launchpad, right, to learn more about voiceover audiobook production, we don't require you to be in studio. We don't require you to participate. We don't require anything of you than just to take that step for yourself, right? You don't have to have accolades or titles under your belt or, like I said, even a microphone. You can join and just hear the conversations and get involved and learn more about what it is that you're looking to get into before you even join. Join for a month and see if you like it. Start to learn some of the lingo, some of the verbiage, meet some of the people in your peer group, right, in your circles. I found that to be one of the most helpful things for me, because when you're really excited about something new and you really want to join, but you don't really know much about it, having people understand where you're coming from is everything. Not only that, but learning the lingo and then not being judged for questions that you might think are just, newbie, or it's just stupid, or here's a dumb question, and you don't get judged for it, because I can guarantee you that it's probably a question that I asked in the beginning, and the majority of the people in the group have asked at some point in their journey. So there really is no such thing as a dumb question or a newbie question or, anything like that. We don't judge. We support in our group. And I think that is everything, right? Is everything. We got a super chat. Hold on, I'm coming. Janelle. Hi, Angela. I'm ready for immersive. Thanks to you and this awesome group. Oh, Janelle is another one. She's amazing. Thank you so much for the super chat. I'm ready for immersive too. I know Anthony is too. The last time I checked, Anthony has been I know he's sick. I just heard that he was sick. He and his daughter are sick. But he has been spending so much time on the back end of Academy Voices, getting it ready for all the things that we are launching ourselves into with, providing retail audiobook production services to authors, and then also getting into dual and duet narration and full cast and then immersive audio. So he's been in there revising the contracts, the terms of service, really getting the website ready for everything that we are, again, launching ourselves into. So it's a very exciting time, but it might seem on the outside to the members that nothing is happening. But believe me, Anthony is working really, really hard to get the back end ready for everything that we're about to get into. So stay tuned. That also includes Academy Voices After Dark, which I'm really excited about. So, and that is our spicy side. And that will be the spicy side of our Academy Voices audiobook production company. Getting really excited about that. Thank you again, Janelle. I appreciate you. Let's see. Where did we leave off? Sage, I believe. Sage. Or did I read this one, Chastity? I don't know if I did. I love the group and I cannot wait to come back. I'm glad Chastity's super talented. Sage is too. Good afternoon, Angela and everyone, from a sunny 73 degrees in Gainesville, Florida. Okay, so did you guys get a winter in Florida? I thought I heard some parts did, but It's a very beautiful day today. Are you in Florida too, Chastity? Barbara says, hello all. I'm new to this journey. Welcome. Welcome. I fall somewhere in between the setup and consistent auditions. I'm going to look into the academy for sure. I would love to have some peers to work with. And I think where you are now, Barbara, is the best time to get involved with groups because you are, and I remember this from my own journey, that this was a very frustrating time for me, and it is for most people. And again, most of the mentees that I have right now are in this place. It's the place where you're trying to get your microphone placement perfect. You're discovering what effects that you need and the effects that you don't need. How much of the effects you need, do they work in harmony with the other effects that you need? What order do they need to be in? Streamlining the actual editing process where you're, recording, applying your effects, and then editing and, getting ACX standards down if you're getting into audiobooks. There's so much right now. And it's kind of a back and forth because you think you've got the right sound or the right setup, right? Everything is where it needs to be and you're happy with it. And then you start to audition, and then you go back and listen to that audition, and you go, oh my God, that sounds horrible, right? Been there. Been there. So then you go back to the drawing board, and you start tweaking effects and re-recording and changing mic distance, and you're doing... So it's like a constant back and forth with effects, auditioning, going back and tweaking. So that place is exactly when you should be joining peer groups. That way you can get feedback from other people. I almost said third parties, but people that are unbiased and people that are unfamiliar with what your space sounds like. Because that's the other thing. As you're auditioning and recording and you think it sounds fantastic, but truth is you're just accustomed to what it sounds like and you're not picking up that there's like a hum in the background. You are not picking up the fact that maybe there's a slight echo. Maybe it sounds boxy. Maybe you're talking into the wrong side of the microphone the whole time. Believe me, that happens, right? This is the perfect time to join groups so we can help you through that and to get you to auditioning, sounding your best faster. Right? So you're not trying to figure all of that back and forth out on your own. We can eliminate some of that trial and error time and get you to where you need to be faster with the support of hundreds of other people that have probably been in the exact same place that you are. Myself included. I've been there. I remember those days. It was not fun. It was not fun. Ruben is here. Hey, Ruben. Good morning. Oh, I wanted to tell you guys, I spent like an hour this morning. I don't know if some of you guys are on TikTok, but I was trying to get StreamYard to stream to TikTok, and I could not figure out how to get it to do that. There's a lot of messages on Google or how-tos on Google on how to do it, but they're all outdated for the new TikTok studio. So if anybody knows how to do it, please tell me, because... I cannot get it to work. Oy vey. Eric, speaking of TikTok, Eric has been going crazy with TikTok. Eric says, hi, Angela and all. I got started through Such a Voice. Oh, I remember Such a Voice. Great training in my home studio, but at well over $4,500. By far the best thing I've done is join Angela's group. By far. Vojo is more than worth it. A VO's journey. Yeah, it is. Kat says, I'm not in Vojo yet because it hasn't been available yet in Launchpad. I love the yet. Gabby and Anthony have talked about it being added to Launchpad, and Anthony is going to be adding a link on your Launchpad. Oh, good. That's good. That's really good. I think that's a really great idea. I don't recall them saying that. I'll have to ask Anthony. Because I think he should, especially if they're calling it a sorority, but it's basically a women's only group for voice actors, women voice actors. And they meet once a month every Monday to talk about women voice actory things, right? I even guested at one not too long ago. Remember when that was. But long story short, I think it should be added to Launchpad as well as a perk, for sure. Jason Wilson is here from Central Oregon coast. I bet you it's beautiful there. It rained slush this morning, cold and wet, but at least it's not windy or driving rain. I need to get back to Oregon. I haven't been there in probably 10, 11, 12 years. It's been a minute. Renata says, thank you. That means so much to me. Girl, you got it. Mark is here. Hey, Mark. Good morning, everyone. Please like and subscribe. Yes, please do. Hit that like button. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. YouTube keeps changing their algorithm. They keep changing their algorithm. So if you like the video, that at least tells the algorithm that you find me entertaining, at the very least, that helps. Chastity says, Renata, yeah, you sounded amazing. I enjoyed hearing you. She is too. You both are. Review Exchange Group says, FYI, my results for the past 12 months of ACX, 220 auditions, 21 contracts published to ACX, 3 per finished hour, 18 royalty share. ACX removed 3 books, 1 canceled, 1 contract. Part-time, 4.5 auditions a week. Very doable. Just do it. And of course, our goal with Academy Voices is to avoid the removal of books, because if we have authors that come into us to have their audiobooks produced by us, then we're going to take them through a vetting process, right? So we're going to make sure that they are who they say they are, that their book is written, in fact, by them, that they own the rights to it, right? So there's a lot less opportunity for scamming, for losing out on, time that you've spent producing an audiobook. So that was the whole point of making this audiobook production company, was to avoid scams and all of the baloney that we deal with working with ACX. I mean, all of that is just eliminated because we are all voice actors and audiobook narrators ourselves. Excuse me. Oh, another super chat. Hold on. Caesar. Thank you, Caesar. Caesar says, joining groups like A VO's Journey is the best way to get the advice you need versus YouTube rabbit holes. Broadcast, commercial, and music people will all have different techniques, many incompatible with spoken word performances. You've got a very valid point there. And we do have a lot of people in the music spaces, i.e. singers. And then we also have a lot of people coming over from the broadcast world, i.e. DJs and things like that. And it's a little bit of a different mindset shift, right? I'm trying to think of how many, I guess it doesn't really matter, but we do have a handful of each that join a lot. See, my brain is going in 50 different directions. I can't pick one. I got to stop doing that. Just stop overthinking everything. But there is a lot that you can learn on YouTube. There's quite a bit you can learn on YouTube. And I think in the beginning for me, that's how I learned a lot. But at the same time, if you're looking for a specific answer to a specific question, to a specific application, that's hard to find on YouTube without first having to go through 5, 10 different videos and then trying to translate the information you're learning into what you need specifically. Or you can post the question in A VO's Journey Discord and get several different suggestions, and they're probably well, at least 70% of them or so would be better suited to exactly what it is that you're doing or exactly what your question is, right? So again, peer groups are beneficial for many different reasons. Let's see, where did I leave off? Chastity says, thank you for the super chat, Caesar. I appreciate you. Caesar, so while we, really quick, sorry, Chastity, squirrel. So Caesar, what should we have Caesar on for next? What do you guys have questions for Caesar? What's the topics that we need for Caesar? Post them in the chat. Chastity says, thank you, Angela. Got me over here blushing. I just calls them like I sees them, girl. Ken says, second Sean's comment, the replays are so valuable when the real job or life interferes with watching live. Yep, the replays, like I said, they're all recorded. Launchpad, all the Launchpad sessions are recorded. All of the monthly coaching sessions, all of the classes are recorded. So if you ever miss any of them and you're in Core, you can go back and watch them. If you're in Launchpad, you can go back and watch any Launchpad that you've missed. Oops. Clicking buttons. Sage says, don't forget to hit that like button and support Angela's channel and all the awesome work she does for us. Also, joining Angela's group is the best thing that I did a year ago. I appreciate that, Sage. You guys have to know that my inner introvert screams every time I try to self-promote. I don't like it. I don't like it. That's not why I created this YouTube channel. What, 6 years ago? Has it been 6 years? I've never been one to toot my own horn. If there's one thing that I hate is when you're looking for something on YouTube and the person gives you a little bit of information, then they say, come buy my course. The link is down below. Buy. I've always hated that. And there's nothing more irritating than that. And I never wanted to do that. I never wanted to come off that way because that's not what I wanted to do with this channel. I wanted to sort of be what I was looking for in the beginning. And that was just, I wanted to answer your questions so you guys don't get stuck. I wanted to help you with the information in the place that you are to keep you moving forward because as I've said pretty much throughout this entire live stream is that it's hard to find information out there for a specific thing. And then to also get the support that you need to get you through that back and forth stage, as I mentioned before. So joining a peer group or having someone that's available, I guess is the better way to say it, that can answer those questions for you to solve your problem, to keep you moving forward so you're not stuck in that place of procrastinating or telling yourself that you're not ready because X, Y, and Z or whatever. So I wanted to be sort of your cheerleader, to help you as best I can, because that's what I needed, and I think a lot of us needed in the beginning. But I'm glad, Sage. Thank you for that. And we do have members in Launchpad. I mean, all varying experience levels, backgrounds. We've had some members in Launchpad that have been there for almost the entire run. Actually, we've had a couple that have been there for the entire run ever since I started. So we have members that have been with us for 6 years plus. I think it's 6 years. I think it's 6 years we've been doing this. And then we have members that joined a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, yesterday, right? So we have all different types of experience levels, but everybody is welcome to share their voice about their opinions, their perspective, because I find that in a classroom setting, when you have a host and you're talking about a topic and everybody's quiet and taking notes or just, absorbing information, that's one thing. But I like to run I don't even like to call them classes. They're group sessions because the group is involved, right? The group is participating. The group is giving their opinion. Because in the industry that we work in, not every client is going to have the same answer, the same opinion, the same need, the same perspective, right? They're going to have all varying levels of, how well they articulate what they need. If they say this, they want this emotion, but really need this one. Having multiple perspectives on, for feedback on reads that we give each other is really, really helpful to sort of see and understand all of those different levels of articulation and expectation and perception and all of those things. So group feedback, I think, is important. Everybody's voice can be heard in our group sessions. I feel like I took the long way around that topic. See, you guys can't let me just sit in tangent. Just tell me to shut up. Oh my God. Chastity says it has been cold in Gainesville. Oh, you're in Florida. Okay. So what is cold? What is cold in Gainesville? What is cold for you? Because for me in Arizona, anything under 73 is cold. Is cold for me. I think my blood's thinned out quite a bit. So anything under 73 is cold for me. Sage says, yes, we did get a winter. The last couple of weeks have been the coldest I've dealt with since I moved to Florida 10 years ago. Wow. So when you think Florida, you don't think cold. Same with Arizona, I guess. You don't think cold. You think hot, 120 degrees in the summer is what you think. Review Exchange Group says, this past week's newest release, When It Was Saigon, Anthology of the Vietnam War, 27 vignettes written by vets about their experience. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. So this was a production that you've released this week or last week that you've narrated? Wow. I bet you that's an interesting listen. Everybody go check it out. When It Was Saigon, Anthology of the Vietnam War. Wow. Excuse me. Rustic Hillbilly says, morning. Beautiful snow day here. Oh, in Oregon. Ken says, audio effects, racks, and EQ setting. Was that a specific question about your setup? I'm just scrolling back up to make sure that, or is that what Caesar helped you with? I'm not sure what you mean. Or is that what we should have Caesar talk about? Because we can talk about audio effects, racks, and EQ settings, but the only way to really approach those is like a broad general brushstroke, because everybody's individual situation, space, voice, equipment is going to be a little bit different. So it's not going to be like a plug and play, But if for a Caesar show, so I'm sure Caesar's got a comment about this. But Caesar, if you're open to it, come on here and hang out with me, and we'll talk about different kinds of effects, where to find them. Effects that we like, effects that we don't like, that sort of thing. I mean, it could be a good show. Emily says, I'd love if Caesar could talk about sound engineering basics to set up everything before we start recording. Okay. I was actually talking to somebody yesterday about all of the different things that we don't think about as noise, or things to be aware of as you're recording. Like for women, you can't really wear any earrings or jewelry that makes noise, right? The scrolling of the mouse, you have to make sure that either your mouse makes zero noise when you're scrolling through pages, right? Or scroll in between dialogue. I mean, or move. If you're wearing jeans and you're like a cable knit sweater or something and it rubs against your jeans as you're moving, you have to be cognizant of all of these things that make noise that you do have control over, or, when to move, or all of those things. There's a lot of little things that I never considered before. So, I mean, those could be things that we talk about in engineering basics, or in terms of equipment or mic placement, things like that. I don't know, Caesar, what do you think? Joy, hey, Joy. Joy's here. Hi, everyone from Michigan, where we're thawing out and the temperature is a nice 50 degrees. I got fruit and custard filled oh, God, I can never remember how to pronounce that. Is that Pazakis? I don't remember how to pronounce that. For Fat Tuesday. Vojo is definitely the best group to be in. I'm going to have to go and look that up. I know I butchered it. I can never remember that word. Renata says to Chastity, thank you. Professor Tracy says, good morning from Rochester. I was looking for other websites to check on how you say words. The Google one was not right for what the customer wanted. Yes, I'm glad you brought that up, Professor Tracy. I don't use Google for the pronunciation of words. I use Merriam-Webster.com, which is the online dictionary. There's also a thesaurus in there, and there's if you look up a word, I don't know why I mentioned the thesaurus. See, I go left quite a bit, but if you look up a word on Merriam-Webster, it'll give you a phonetic and an audible pronunciation of the word. There's also a site called Youglish, Youglish.com. And if there's like a regional pronunciation of a word, like let's just say there's a mountain range in, I don't know, somewhere, and there's a regional pronunciation for that mountain range, maybe it's like an Indian name or something, like, you know what I mean? They pronounce it one way where they are versus outside of that region. If you punch it in there, the name of the mountain range, let's just say, for example, in Youglish, what it'll do is it'll search YouTube for any kind of instance of that mountain range, and then it'll show you those videos so you can hear at that point in the YouTube video when it's pronounced. So that will help you with pronunciation as well. So those are the two sites that I go to most often. Merriam-Webster I use 99% of the time, especially when it comes to medical narration or technical terms, things like that. I will go to Merriam-Webster.com. I do not use Google, because Google is not always right for pronunciation. Or, I mean, going back to this one really quick, if you're not sure or you can't find this particular word, you can always ask the customer. Ask the client for a phonetic, or have like a phonetic spelling of the word, or have them record like a quick soundbite on their phone and send you the MP3. Right, of them pronouncing the word. You could do that as well. What do you think about joining LibriVox? Is it necessary, valuable? I used to recommend joining and narrating on LibriVox. I think I still do, but I think there was a point where they started to do something with AI. I'm trying to remember exactly what that was. But LibriVox is a site, for those of you who've never heard of it before, is a site where you can volunteer to narrate books in the public domain. But technically you can do the same in Academy Voices as well, and then get paid for them. So you can either narrate for LibriVox or narrate for Academy Voices and earn royalties on it. Right? And, but with LibriVox, you can narrate sections of the book or the book in its entirety. There's a few different options there, but it's basically volunteering, and it's a good way to practice. It was exactly how I started 8 years ago, was on LibriVox, because I didn't want the pressure of, a payment or time or, I wanted to be able to have the time and space to learn how to produce an audiobook from start to finish without any kind of, anyone standing over my shoulder, basically. But it was a great learning experience for sure. So for me, it was a valuable learning experience, but it's not necessary. Danny says, please talk about your microphone positioning. Also, does that vary depending on the mic? I have the 416 and the TLM 103. I always tell people to have their microphone just slightly off axis. Now, I know Caesar's going to have a very specific answer for you for probably either mic or both. But I have a 416 and I have it sort of at it's not quite 90 degrees. It's more like 80, maybe. Just off axis. It's just, I don't know if you can tell, but it looks almost like it's kind of an optical illusion. But it's got a slight tilt and it's pointed at my mouth, but to the side of my mouth. So it's what we call off axis. That way, as you're speaking, the air that comes out of your mouth, resulting in plosives when you're saying P's, B's, T's, that air is going to go past the microphone instead of into it. Now, the pop filters, that's what they're for, and they help to kind of mitigate some of that. They serve as basically an air diffuser. So the air from the P, the T, the D, the plosive, instead of going into the microphone, it is caught by the pop filter and then diffused away from the end of the microphone. So that's essentially what the pop filter does. But if you have it off to the side, that'll help to mitigate some of that plosive noise as well. I'm sure Caesar's got a more detailed answer for you. Ken says, speaking of rewatching past group chats, I really need to go and watch the Wheel of Accents and any accent development classes. We haven't done a Wheel of Accents yet because admittedly I'm not the best at them. But we can definitely have one of those. It just will, somebody else that can do accents will have to lead that one because I'm not great with accents. Sean says, all those tenured members tend to provide help to the newer members. I think all of the members do. All of the members help each other, even if they just started yesterday. And I think that's one of the better parts about our group is that everybody participates and helps and supports. Caesar says mic positioning varies with the mic. The 416 is very directional, has strong side rejection, so you have to be centered. TLM 103 has a strong presence boost, so having it off axis reduces sibilance. There you go. Love to send you a promo code for saying, oh, okay, I'm down with that. Sage says it was 28 degrees a couple weeks ago. It was awful, and I had been complaining that I moved to Florida to get away from this. So 28 degrees in Florida. I just cannot, does not compute. 28 degrees in Florida. Caesar says, audio effects, racks, and EQ setting. We can touch on general best practices, but EQ should be a separate topic. Also, yes, I can talk about pre-recording prep, such as mic positioning. Chastity says to Sage, I was a truck driver, so I said something like I came home to escape winter, but yeah, I think it followed me. They make silent mices. My trackball mouse, excuse me, from Logitech is fairly quiet. Because it has a trackball on it, I guess the scroll is quiet too. So they do make Mises, computer mouses that are quiet scroll, but I have a trackball mouse that's super quiet. Danny says, did you know you can upload a WAV file to Google Gemini and ask it to receive the issues as if it was a remind? God, what is wrong with me today? And ask it to receive the issues as if it was a remind and experienced voiceover sound engineer. Tell it what gear you're using and it helps you. That doesn't surprise me, but no, I didn't know that. I think I don't know. I don't want to become super reliant on really anyone, especially AI. I don't know how I feel about that. But no, I didn't know about that. Ken says, one shirt I cannot wear when recording. It is cotton, very crinkly, noisy. My chair has an annoying tendency to creak. And don't forget silence all notifications on your phone or watch. Oh, yes, I keep forgetting to mention this. Whenever I'm having a Launchpad session, I can always hear when people have their Discord open. So there'll be notification noises every time somebody posts something on Discord. It's one of the first things that I think you should do as a voice actor, audiobook narrator, is mute all of your websites so there's no notifications that come through, and all of your apps, mute those notifications, and then turn your phone on silent when you're going into the studio to record. Because you never know when you're nailing that take and then you get some sort of a ding or a bloop in the middle of it. Turn them off. Danny says, I had to consult with my Mexican cousin who is a linguist to pronounce native Mexican terms for a new book I auditioned for. Well, there you go. I would definitely trust his interpretations or his pronunciation tips. Caesar said, fascinating thing about the 416, it shines for VO when used wrong. It was designed as an overhead boom mic. This is the mic that I guess you don't see, but anytime they're doing like a TV series like Friends or, any... or even movie making for that matter. This is the boom mic that they have over their heads that's just out of frame that you can't see. That is what the 416 is used for. But because of the way it's designed, when used up close, it becomes rich and articulate. Sean says, Caesar and Eric are great with accents. I'm not so bad myself. Can definitely contribute. That would be great. Yeah, Eric and Caesar are both great with accents. Tanya G is good with accents too. There's a handful of members that are really good with accents. Erica Calvert, I think, is also pretty good with accents. So we could probably pull off a wheel of accents. I can't issue or contribute an opinion if I myself stink. See what I was just talking about? Notifications. I didn't turn my notifications off on my phone although that was a good one though, because, I just sold something. So Ren Budden says, thank you for the super chat, by the way. That's amazing of you. I appreciate it. Recently found your channel. Love the info. Can you tell me the difference between the groups to joins? Lesson site, group site, narrator site. I get confused with the names and what's for what. Thanks again. We actually just went through the entire rundown of what a VO's Journey Academy includes. So you'll have to watch the replay of the whole, because I just did an entire walkthrough of it. But basically, there's a link in the description of this video where you can go and check it out. Go and check out a VO's Journey Academy. For everything that we offer and for every tier of membership that we offer, you cannot beat the price point. I challenge you to beat that price point with anything, with everything that we have to offer. But with membership, you get access to our Discord. Even if you just join Launchpad, which is the starting membership tier, which is working with me and most everyone else here in the chat. With Launchpad, you also get access to the Discord. So you have, it's like the day you join, you have access to hundreds of other voice actors and audiobook narrators that are all supportive, non-judgmental. There's no negativity allowed anywhere. Not that anybody really has. I think in my 6 years of doing this with these groups, I've only had to remove one person because of the negativity. Everybody else has been fantastic and supporting and helpful. And, everybody actively reaches out to help. I mean, it's an amazing group of people. So, and that's day one, as soon as you join. So if you're looking for that kind of camaraderie, support, help, education, definitely join and check us out. Again, the link is in the description of this video. And thank you so much for the super chat, Ren. Welcome to the family. Caesar says AI can, to a reasonable degree, identify issues with audio, such as muddiness, sibilance, nasality, by spectrographic analysis. Where it fails is how to fix the problem. Solutions are too boilerplate. Yeah. And I have to wonder, I know AI is learning all the time, but when I think of, let's just say Audio Lab on ACX, it's not 100% accurate 100% of the time. And that's fair if you can, take results from AI with a grain of salt, knowing that it's not going to be completely accurate 100% of the time. But to Caesar's point, that is the biggest issue. Even if AI detects a problem or tells you what needs to be fixed, without knowing exactly like how far you are from the microphone, the dimensions of your space, all of those very specific things that attribute or contribute to your audio quality. Without knowing all of that, it's not going to be able to tell you exactly what to do. Or maybe it can. I'm not sure. But long story short, I'd much rather have a human with a trained ear tell me these things than, an algorithm. That's just me, I suppose. Danny then says, I think that utilizing AI is all in the way that you prompt it. That's fair. Excuse me, that's fair. I asked it specifically to behave like two specific sound engineers. I slipped in a change and it really did identify it. Can be helpful. Interesting. Well, maybe we'll have to go and give it a shot. We'll see. Review Exchange Group says mouth noises. Do you think that with all the fuss over narration being AI, that we should begin intentionally leaving in more mouth noises? To be honest, I think we should not be over editing for sure. And a lot of us have a tendency to do that in the beginning because we want to remove everything that's bad. We want to be perfect. But that aside, I think to your point, leaving in some of those things that make us human, i.e. breath. Stop removing all your breaths. I think leaving in maybe like a nose pop or, like a lip smack or something. I mean, leaving in those things, I think, is really not as bad as we're making it out to be. I think let me back up. We should probably start leaving in those things. See, I'm overthinking and trying to explain again. My brain's trying to tangent. And I'm trying to reel it back in. But to your point, yes, I think we should definitely leave in those things that make us human. More than ever now, especially with AI. Ken says ChatGPT and I think Claude can listen to an audio sample, but their suggestions are just a starting point. Yeah, I think a lot of it is going to be very broad stroke. I mean, but Danny seems like he's having some success with it. So I guess, like he said, it's all in the way that you prompt it and what information that you feed it, right? Gentle Tide Audio says, apologies if it's been asked, but what about the changes that are coming to Discord, I think, next month? As far as what their new policy will be to use the platform. I am unfamiliar with the policy changes coming next month for Discord. What are they? Or maybe I'll have to go and look. I'm unfamiliar with them. Danny said, yes, Ken. I'm not sure what that is. By the way, Chuck Duran has green apples on his coffee table. He said if you have that nervous sound like stirring macaroni, if you take one bite of the apple, that sound goes away. Like your stomach? For your stomach or the mouth noises? I hear green apples is great it's the acid in the apple that the tart, the acid that makes it tart is also what helps the mouth noise. But for me, it's water and isotope. RX11 mouth tea click is what does it for me. Review Exchange Group, Caesar says to Review Exchange Group, with intent, yes. For instance, if the prose asks you to sigh, the sound of your mouth opening and your tongue clicking before you exhale is natural. I think, yeah, leaving that stuff in, I think, is normal or should be allowed to stay. Caesar says to Gentle Tide Audio, nothing set in stone yet. As a matter of fact, I believe they've walked back on some policies after public outcry. I believe the one involving face scans to access the platform. Oh, I did hear something about that, like in passing. I think my son was watching something on Instagram and I heard like a snippet of that. That would be just insane. I understand the need for security on platforms. Believe me, I do. But if we're concerned about them stealing facial features to build like AI faces and stuff like, I don't know. It's hard to say, but I think the direction in which all of these companies and platforms are embracing AI for security, I think a lot of these measures are going to be unavoidable at some point in the future, which is not good. But I don't know. I guess time will tell, right? I guess we'll see. It's one of those we're just going to have to see. Ken says, I tried both with my recordings. I did make a few tweaks that sound better to me. Whether Caesar would agree, well, stupid YouTube ads, they're all getting annoying. As far as YouTube ads. Not sure what you mean by YouTube ads. Caesar says to Ken, best way to find out is to send me your recordings. There you go. There you go. Caesar can tell you. Look at that. It's 11:11. All right, you guys, that's about it for me today. If there's something you guys want to talk about in the future, something you want me to walk through, something you want me to share with you, if there's a specific, I'm having such a hard time with that word lately, specific guest, perhaps, that maybe you'd like me to have on the show with me, that we can talk about something specific, let me know. Other than that, I am going to go and get some work done. That is it for me today. You have YouTube ads intruding on your life. Oh, I do? Oh, well, yeah, I might have to fix that. Thank you for letting me know. Thank you for letting me know. Okay. I'm going to turn that off, figure out where that's at and turn it off. Thank you so much, you guys. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me today. And again, if you have any questions, suggestions, complaints, anything like that, just let me know. But other than that, if you're in Launchpad, I will see you guys on Thursday, or I will see you next week. Bye. Thank you.